Hey, sewing friends. So, this last week I've kind of had what my daughters and I call the hum-hums. And it's not really being down or depressed or anything. It's just not being real motivated or excited about anything. And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with a couple of I don't want to say unsuccessful makes, but they weren't successful either. They were just makes that didn't turn out the way I had hoped or was anticipating how they would turn out. And I don't know if that's ever happened to you and how you handled that, or if it affected you, if you just sort of said, oh, it's not what I thought, but I think it'll work anyways, and you were able to move on, or if it kind of thought, or if you thought, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be, and it kind of got you down. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if how your unexpected results affect you when you sew something and it doesn't turn out how you had hoped it was. So one of mine was my Vogue pants, the 1993 1993. I've been working on these forever, for a couple of months, doing toiles here and there. Yeah, and what I finally did is I thought I'd gotten to a point where I thought I could sew these up and they would work. And I haven't quite finished them. I still need to do the waistband and hem them. But I do have them. This is a wool twill that I got from Britex. So it's a kind of a heavy bottom weight fabric. And I got to tell you, I did my first fly zipper, and it actually has a little button there, and it's not quite finished. I still have to do the stitching here when that's finished, when I do the waistband. And I got to tell you, it wasn't that difficult at all. And I've told you this before, excuse me, construction doesn't scare me. I'm fine with construction. You could throw me anything, a welt pocket, a fly zipper, an invisible zip. Yeah, construction, it's just the fitting that kind of gets me down. So anyhow, I went ahead and tried these on, and they didn't quite fit the same as the toile, because we all know that different fabric is going to behave differently even though you're using the same fabric. So this has a little bit more, I think, give to it than the muslin fabric did. When you have a tighter weave or a looser weave or a drapier fabric, it's not going to behave the same as the muslin. So the fit on this isn't great, but it isn't bad. And what I did is I said, I tried to give myself some grace, and this is what I did. And let me know if you've ever done this, or if you haven't, try this. Because what I did is I took a pair of pants, a ready to wear off the rack pair of pants that I had in my closet, and it was a pair of slacks. It was part of a suit, so I had a jacket and then some dress slacks, and I tried them on and I looked at the fit, and it's like the fit wasn't perfect, because my body, my middle-aged body, just does not fit the block or the what's ever being put out in ready to wear, because I just have a middle-aged body. But it's not all that bad. So I tried it on and I thought, okay, Carol, the fit on these pair of pants that you bought wasn't perfect, yet you bought them anyways. And then I asked myself, suppose I had just made these, that I had just put them on, or I had just finished them, put them on, what would I think? And in being honest with myself, I'm pretty sure that if I would have made those and put them on, I just would have been dejected. I would have said, oh, the back is too short. They're kind of tight here. I'm almost sure that I would have said they were a complete failure. I would have taken them off, thrown them in a corner, and maybe 2 or 3 years from now, take them out, try and do something with them. Or I might have even just said, I'm done with them, and just thrown them away. Yet they were good enough to buy. Okay, because I think I'm being too hard on myself. So then I put on these Vogue 1993 pants, and I tried to imagine the waistband being on, the hem being completed, and I thought, okay, Carol, if you put these on, if I tried these on at the store, would I buy them? And I tried to think about it, and I'm looking and I'm feeling how they feel, and I'm thinking I might have bought them. I mean, they're not perfect, but I don't think the perfect fitting pants are in a store for me. My goal is to eventually learn, take what I'm learning, do some pattern drafting, do some adjusting, and come up with a sloper that fits my body, that allows me to make not just slacks, but maybe, flat front slacks, pleated slacks, maybe cigarette pants, culottes, just, get something that allows me to learn the shape of my body and use that to create a myriad of pants type garments from it. And I feel more confident than ever that I'm going to get there. I mean, right now, I really feel that combined with what I'm doing now, what I'm learning, what I'm reading, what I'm attempting and trying and all, that I'm going to get there, because some of these fixes do need to be done as you make them. Because you can go ahead and make a toile and make adjustments to the pattern and have the perfect pattern that's going to work with that toile. But because the fabric that you sew up is going to have a tighter weave, a looser weave, be heavier, be lighter, have more drape, be stiffer, it's something that you can't really adjust the pattern with before you make it. It's something that you have to do as you go along. And that's kind of how I feel about these wool twill pants. As I said, they're not the perfect fit, but they're not the worst fit, and they're definitely wearable. And I plan on trying again, making a few adjustments, and making another pair. And once I get the waistband on and get them hemmed, I will put them on, and I'll put a picture up and maybe some video and a little toile, and maybe I will think that they're better than you do. But again, it's by trying them on with the ready to wear and comparing them that kind of allowed me to give myself some grace and kind of feel better and get me out of the hum-hums that I was feeling. Now, the second culprit that kind of got me in, that gave me the hum-hums, was the Geneva blouse by Liesl & Co. And I think really that was just the raw, I had a shirting fabric. I was using a heavier shirting fabric, thinking that it was going to be more of a blouse, and then there are some fitting issues too there that I need to adjust. And it's funny because I'm thinking about blouses. I'm wanting to make blouses, and I'm looking at patterns, and I'm trying to find just a simple button up the front with a collar blouse and a cuff. Having a hard time finding that, because a lot of the patterns that I'm looking through, like in the books and online, have fancier stuff. They might have ruffle collars or a bow, or they might have, some sort of statement sleeve. And I suppose I can make adjustments, but I'm hoping to just, kind of find a standard pattern. And I know a lot of people really love the Cashmere Vernon shirt. And I did ask, I texted Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews if she'd ever made that out of like a viscose or a rayon, because I don't want a shirt, I want a blouse. And she said that she had, and she loved it, and she loves the pattern, she goes on about it. So I went ahead and decided to buy it and give it a try. So I'm on the Cashmere website, and I am a Cashmere Club member. So as I have the pattern in my basket, I realized, hey, as a club member, I get a discount, but I couldn't remember how I got the discount. So I'm kind of like searching around the website, looking around, and I finally find out, oh, okay, here's where I can find the perks that I get as a club member. And another perk that I saw was that I get a 15% discount at Stone Mountain and Daughter. And, I totally took that bait. I had no intention of looking at fabric or thinking of fabric, but I thought, oh, I got 15% off at Stone Mountain and Daughter. So of course I go to the website, start looking around. And it reminded me of some fabric that I bought there last year. It was this beautiful crepe de chine. It's a stone-washed crepe de chine made by Amour Vert, or for Amour Vert. And I made the Kinnaton dress, which is a Cashmere Club pattern. And I have to tell you, I absolutely just dislike this dress. It has got to be the most boring, uninspiring, frumpy, blah dress pattern that is out there. I mean, I went ahead and added a tie. I made a tie to go ahead and add to it to give it kind of some sort of punch or something. And the only reason I keep the dress and wear it is because the fabric was ridiculously expensive. And I thought about maybe making something different with it, like upcycling or making a top or something. And I still might actually deconstruct the bodice and the skirt and make a skirt out of it. But the problem with trying to upcycle it is that it would be hard to make a top or a shirt with it because the skirt has a seam down the center front and the back has a seam down the center back. So the pieces aren't really all that big. It's not like it was cut on the fold and you have this nice big skirt piece of fabric. It has that center seam on it. So I do keep it, but it's not my favorite. But I did like the fabric, and I'm looking at the fabric going, this is a crepe de chine, so it has a really nice drape to it. But because it's sand washed and it's a little bit heavier, it kind of has the right amount of oomph, I think, for the Geneva blouse, for those lantern sleeves. I think it's going to give me the drape that I want that makes it a blouse, but it's still going to have enough oomph in it to sort of do the lantern sleeves, as I said, on the blouse. So what the heck, I got 15% off for being a club member, so I went ahead and bought a couple of yards, and I'm going to remake that. Hopefully it will be the success that I want and keep me out of the hum-hums. And last but not least, what kind of got me out of the hum-hums, that gave me inspiration, was actually looking at patterns. Now, I really wasn't in... what was the word? I wasn't really in the market to buy new patterns. I'm really trying to use up my stash and use what I've already bought. But I did want to make another shirt dress because I do like the idea of a shirt dress. I think it's a very classic wardrobe staple. And personally, I think everyone should have one. But hey, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But last year I had made the Style Arc woven, Palmer woven shirt dress. And it actually had grown on sleeves, and I love the dress. I wear it all the time. I think I've made it twice. But I was wanting something a little more traditional, I guess, or something that, what I was thinking of is there a shirt dress that is designed to fit more of my body type? Because, in my younger days, I was more of an hourglass. Now I'm kind of what I call a chubby hourglass with a little bit of apple thrown in there, And because of that, the Style Arc Palmer dress looks good on me, but I don't think it's really the best choice of shirt dress for my body type. So I started looking at patterns and really thinking, okay, what's going to look good on my body type? And I came out with this pattern. I think it's McCall's 6696. And I really like this pattern for two reasons. And I think I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting. I need to go to Joann's and wait for their $2.99 sale. But what I like about it is that this is a pattern I feel that once I get the fit right, I can make 3 or 4 dresses and they're going to look different. It's not going to look, because I do have a tendency to get comfortable with patterns and then make them over and over again, which is fine. We all do that. But after a while, I realize that it's like, you're wearing the same thing, just switching out the fabric. And I want to have a little bit more variety in my wardrobe. So what I like about this is it gives you the shirt dress. It has the button placket all the way down, has the collar. So it has those kind of masculine shirt dress features that I like. But it also gives you the option of a fit and flare. But then it also gives you the option of a straight skirt as well. And then you have long sleeves over here, short sleeves, sleeveless. And it was so funny, I'm thinking, and they even give you like a camisole pattern. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Like it's a shirt dress, but they throw in a camisole pattern. Well, duh. When I actually looked at the back of the envelope, they were saying that this, the fabric recommendations with, eyelet, this one is made of eyelet, and they said, light to medium weight wovens. And of course, if you're wearing eyelet, you need a slip underneath. They're not giving you a camisole dress pattern. They're giving you a slip to make to wear under your eyelet. Duh. But I do like the idea that I could come up with 4 or 5 different dresses changing out the fabric, but still having different looks. So again, it looks like I'm not wearing the same thing over and over again. Now I had this eyelet that I showed you that I wanted to make the Nephilim blouse out of, and I still think I'm going to use it to make the Nephilim blouse. At first I thought, oh, this would be perfect, and it really would be perfect for that McCall 6696, except I think this is too much my skin color. So I think if I wear the dress and I have my legs, and you know, even if I made it short sleeve or sleeveless, it would just be one big blah, ecru color. So I think this is still going to be the Nephilim, and I will just have to look for a different type of eyelet to make this, and different kinds of fabric. So seeing that I could get a lot of bang for my buck for that pattern, and it just seemed that it's the type of pattern that I think would work with my body type. Again, kind of got me out of the hums and got me really inspired and motivated to do some sewing again this weekend. So I'm curious, have you ever gotten the hums, and what did you do to get out of them? Let me know in the comments, because I'd really like to know. I'd like to know I'm not alone in this. And that's all I have for today, so I will go ahead and see you next time. Bye.